Hello, everybody. Good day to you. I hope you're having a great Friday. Welcome to your weekend if you've started that already. Good to see everybody. Hope you had an amazing week. Can you believe it's Friday again already? Zoom, zoom, zoom. I'm telling you. Let's get my desktop all set up here. We'll get started. And right, I think we're good there. Let me just move that over. We are live. All right, and let's see here. Make sure YouTube is showing us live as well. There it is. All right. So we are all set. So before we get into everything, let's send some wonderful love out to the world and, of course, bring it into our wonderful session today. If you'd like to join me, whether you're watching live or on replay, we can all join together outside of space and time where this unconditional love energy exists. It exists in everything. It's at the core of everything anyway. But so if you'd like to join me, let's take a big deep breath, come back to right here, right now, and let the chaos of the world fall away for just a moment. So big deep breath in. And then slowly let it out. Beautiful. And I have our wonderful singing bowl with us. So as I hit the singing bowl, we'll let that love flow down, fill us up, and flow out to the world like we're that Ace of Cups chalice in the tarot. I'll hit it like 3 times, so just be prepared for that. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Let's see if she'll continue to sing if I put her back here without hitting anything. Okay, I think that will do. So she'll finish her song back there. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much for joining me and doing that. Such wonderful energy. And so welcome. Before we get into everything, let me just send a couple of items here. All right, so let's take a look here. And so at the first of every month, YouTube gives me 10 free Zen Cricket memberships of mine to give away. I'll give those away 5 tomorrow morning and 5 tomorrow night. But to be able to be eligible for that, you do have to have your little setting switched to on to be able to receive them. To be eligible to receive them, YouTube chooses them. I just hit a little button, and Spirit and YouTube choose 5 winners when I do that. So that'll be tomorrow. It's not too late to sign up for those. So if you want to check it out, that is the link for that. And then because of my Zen Cricket members, which we got Nicole. Hey, Nicole, and Patty and Johanna, HTTPS. And let's see, anyone else up above here? Let me scroll up. So we've got some of my YouTube channel members. So thank you to you and everyone that makes donations and anyone that purchases my services that I offer that are all listed down below and my website at bruddaZEN.com. Because of all of you and my wonderful host, send blessings to her that allows me to live here cost free. So it's her way of giving back to the world. So because of all of you, I'm able to do all this that I do and offer all the free things that I do. So some of the free things I like to make sure everyone knows. Each week I have a pick a card. Whoops, don't think I grabbed that one here. That's the same thing. I don't want to post that twice. There we go. So here is a pilgrimage meditation. I do one of these a month, and we go and visit. We had visited all of the chakras of Mother Earth, and so for the next four, starting with this one, I have four of my guides. My spirit guides are going to take us on an adventure. The Phoenix Collective, which is my fire element spirit guide, they're a part of a collective called Phoenix Collective, which is part of the Syrian Collective, and we went to visit Sirius B. So be sure to check that out. There's a wonderful pick a card where they offer great wisdom, and there's three choices of that too, in addition to the amazing meditation and thing that they took us on. So be sure to check that out. Also, happy Cancer New Moon. We have that happening today at 4:47 Mountain Time. And here is the pick a card for that. It also talks about the 10 new moon wishes that we have in there every new moon. And the 8 hours after is when it's most potent. We can do it anytime, but it's like that's when the soil of the new moon is ready for seeds to be planted. So between 4:47 p.m. today and a little after midnight tonight, 12:47 a.m. Mountain Time, of course, tomorrow morning, we have that 8-hour window to do our new moon wishes. So be sure to check that out and take the most of that. Also, each week I have a podcast, or I have been doing it each week. A big announcement. I'm going to change to doing those monthly. This one, we're on part 2 of 3 of talking about our superpowers. But just to balance, I'm going to change it to a monthly podcast. But in between all of that, I might have some surprise guests. I have a few of my Praying Mantis members who have modalities and different things, and I want to share them with you. So I'm gonna do like little podcast interview of them and talk about their path from chaos to cozy and share some things that also help them. So be on the lookout for that coming soon. Also, we have, of course, solstice. We're in the middle of that. Summer in the northern and winter in the southern. Here is a link to a playlist for each individual zodiac sign. It's all focused in on relationships. So we talk about single and looking, if you're married or in a relationship, and also happy hermits. So each zodiac sign gets all those. So if you have that energy in your chart somewhere, you can look at each one of those as well. And in celebration of the relationship readings, I have relationship readings that I offer. I'm doing half off those from June 20th through July 21st. So half hour is $12.50 and hour is $25. If you want to check those out, there's a link there talking about the 6 different types of relationship readings that I do. So you can check on that. And almost done. I do a lot. I tell you, I do a lot. That's where the balance is coming in. But we also, one of the pick a cards a month is when the sun goes into its new zodiac sign. So we're in the Cancer season. So happy birthday, all of you Cancer sun babies. And I have a 3-month bonus that I do for each as well. So if you are a Cancer Sun baby, make sure to check that out for your bonus birthday reading. Or if you have any Cancer Sun signs in your life, you can send them that way too. And then I also do monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign. So here is July's playlist as well, where we dive into the 4 different areas. We do a main overall energy for the month, and then we break down each of the tarot. Uh, what are they called? Suits, the minor arcana, the 4 suits of earth and fire and swords, air and water. So we do all 4 of those and look at those 4 different areas of our life as well. So if you're interested, all that stuff is free, and I'm excited for what we will bring in there. So I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. And I think that's the main stuff there. So if you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome, welcome. So happy to have you all here. And we got a great group of people, huge hearts, great senses of humor, which you'll find out. And how the free readings work, I do go down in order in the chat. There is no special list. The chat is it. You just put your question out there. I move down in order, first come, first serve. If you don't want to put your business out there, you can ask for a general reading. Spirit knows, I just pull cards and we'll bring their messages through. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I prioritize those. Step out of the free readings, dive deeper, meaning I pull more cards for those. And then when I'm done, I return back and make my way down the free readings. If you want to make a donation, you can use the super chat at the bottom of the chat, or in the description box of the video. I do have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. And so whatever you want to give is perfect. I don't look at the dollar amounts. I know everyone's finances vary from person to person, day to day, country to country, wherever. So whatever you give from your heart is perfect. All right, so let's get into it. Hello, Johanna. Hello. Hey, everybody. Good to see you all. And Patty, what a week it was, huh? Did you have a fun? It flew by. I know. Interesting energies in the world. And of course, we went into Neptune retrograde on, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that's Pisces, dreamy, connection to spirit. Dreams, 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 dreams. I tell you what. All right. So we're going to use this Tarot of the Magical Forest. Let's see if it's a little bit bright there. There it goes. So it's a cute little deck. I also have the Radiant Rider-Waite and some other cute little cards. So we'll see what comes up here. But let's jump in here. So first, we have a couple donations from Jeep, so you'll be up first, and then Johanna, then HTTPS, and then Infinity, and then I do see one from Nicole coming through the Venmo, so you'll be up after that. All right, so let's jump in. So Jeep, thank you so much for your first donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. All right. And you'd like a general around career. All right. So let's see. What does Spirit want you to know about career right now? All right. Well, evidently that. All right. What else? And those. Okay. And that one. All right. The bottom of the deck, you have the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands here. Let's see if we can get these to focus. There it goes. So he's carrying all those wands, which is a lot of energy being invested in career. And of course, we do have, this message that comes with that of, tired, right? So much energy invested toward career. It's like, I can't do it anymore, right? It becomes a burden. And then we're ready for an ending and a beginning, which is what the 10 of Wands is. A 10 is an ending and a beginning. So, we've got this great change that's coming here for you, and it's because you're choosing it. The first 2 cards that came out together, you have the 2 of Swords and the King of Swords. So the Two of Swords is closing your eyes and opening your heart. King of Swords, with that Ace of Swords that they carry there, helps solve this struggle between the head and the heart. And the King of Swords can represent higher education or additional training, additional certification, learning something new. And that combination between those two cards kind of tells me here that your heart wants to do something different. It wants to do something where it feels like it's living, not existing. And that King of Swords will let you see things. That Ace of Swords allows you to see things from a higher perspective and see clarity. Excuse me. Where you want to go. It's like clearing your throat, clearing your throat chakra, right? I want to be able to speak and be me and not just try to fit into what the brain has told me I'm supposed to do, should to do, need to do, right? So I like this that they're saying, yes, it's time to have life not feel like a burden, especially around career. And there's this freedom that can come through this. Let's see what these other cards are. You have like one card, two cards, one card. So let's see what you're moving to. Yeah, you have the Three of Cups, which is joy and celebration and community, feeling like you belong somewhere. And that's an important part of what you're wanting, trying to fit in somewhere where, you know, uh, really you don't want to be there anyway. And that's the kind of energy that comes in when you're not feeling welcomed. It's because you're not welcoming it, but you also don't want to be there, sometimes. In this particular case where you're at, it's like you've learned what you needed to learn. Now you're ready for something that feels like joyful, feels like community that comes in here. See what this is here. Yeah. And so you have the Six of Swords. This is movement from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking. It's also movement across water. See, they're moving across water. So I do feel, this is like a confirmation of that you are going to be, moving locations, moving somewhere else. And that's the important thing for you here is that, you know, that what awaits you, that makes you feel your heart feel full, is not staying where you're at, which you obviously know, with all the other readings that you've got. It's going to a different location, moving across water. Here you go. There's joy that waits for you on the other side. Yeah. And you have both the Six of Wands, which they're on a horse. Well, they're on a giant frog, but they're usually on a horse in the standard tarot. Knight of Swords is movement of thinking and thoughts, a reward, feeling victorious here. So you do have this, with the Six of Swords and not the sword, yeah, Six of Swords and the Six of Wands. This is like a path that's ahead that you will know it, you'll feel it, but you'll feel it from your heart, not from your brain. And that's the important thing when we're looking at that, with all of that here. Um, with all of this change of energy, timing is going to be all in your hands. It's like everything that is going on in your life is drawn from your energy with this 10 of wands. It's you decide when you're going to go and what you're wanting to do. And your energy, when you move it from focusing on what something's not being, and we begin to focus on gratitude, right? We always talk about that energy when whatever we focus on grows. So if I start focusing on, not what's happening in my current job, what I hate about my current job, but I look at what I want and have gratitude to the creator and the spiritual universe that they're going to be bringing that, and focus on everything I've loved about the job that I'm in, the jobs that I've had in life. Then that tells the universe that, this is the stuff I want and love, and they'll bring me more of that. But the more I focus on that, that's what speeds up things. The more I focus on that, the more slower it is, right? So the timing has to do with you. I mean, it can be, I feel like August was a big month for you and they're bringing that back. is that August is the great movement month for you, but this is the month where you have to decide, I'm going to, look elsewhere. And what do I want? What's going to make my heart sing? So I like that. So that's what they have for that piece of your life there. I don't know. I wish I could give you like, it's going to be July 18th at 8 a.m. in the morning is when you get a job offer. I wish I could give that to you because I know that's what my human would want. But uh, there's an importance to know that your energy is what drives your life, that it isn't. Delegated to you or sent, put on you. You are the one that gets to choose your adventure. There's not a have to or supposed to, like a little, kid being taken to a playground. They don't tell you what to go play on. They're like, go play. So you get to choose what you're wanting to do, which I like. All right. So that's what they have for that one. And thank you for that donation. And thank you for your second donation. Let's give that a love and a like here. And you'd like a general for July and August. Absolutely. Sorry, let's take a sip here. We're at the peak of pollen season. And my body likes to tell me, hey, do you know there's pollen outside? I'm like, thank you. I do. I see it. I feel it. So pardon me as I clear my throat here. All right. So let's take a look here. General for July and August. Let's see here. What do they want you to know about July? So you got boom, boom, and boom. And that's kind of in between. All right. And then they're giving you August here. And that's all right. All right. So we do like the bottom of the deck being the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is all about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, nurturing yourself, choosing for yourself, abundance, birthing of things. And so it is an important time between these two about choosing for you. And, this is that solidness of choosing, with the Pentacles being the outside world, is I'm going to choose things that I want. Again, going back to that, not what I'm supposed to want, but what I want. And let's take a look at this middle card first. Yeah. Okay. So you got this, both months just feel like the wheel of fortune, the fates wheels a turning, and with the Queen of Pentacles, both of these are abundance. You even got the Six of Wands underneath, um, which is victory. So you've got these 2 months where, the wheel of fortune tells us everything that unfolds in our life is for us. And sometimes, of course, our human side is, how is that for me? Like when things are going horrible at work or in a relationship or something in life, and our, psyche of our humans, like, this sucks. But at the core, we can know that everything that happens in our life is for us. When the Wheel of Fortune comes out, that's the tune of for you, the fortune, and even your human is on board with this when this comes out. Sometimes our human is like, well, I don't understand, but when the Wheel of Fortune comes out, they're like, I see it. It's so perfect. Yes, I see how this is unfolding for me. So I like this energy of July and August. It's very transformative. It does feel like the wheel of fate is changing. It's the big major arcana 10 endings and beginnings, but it's a good feel with that. So let's take a look here. The 3 cards for July. Yeah, here's the 3 of Cups. Here's joy, celebration, gathering. Aren't you going with your kids? This is like feeling like you belong, feeling part of something very joyful, very celebration type of energy for the month that's there. You also have the Page of Cups. So Page of Cups is new emotion coming in here, heightened emotion. Think of it as like the 11 of Cups. It's even above the 10. So it's this heightened emotion. I like both of these coming in together. feel like you have a sense of joy and celebration and relief that comes in. Yeah, and the Eight of Pentacles. So you're starting here, you're plotting, you're planning, you're putting in the work in July, ready to make things happen, planning, plotting, decision making. Um, but it gets the wheels turning. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. All of these Eight of Pentacles, all of these wheels, all of this stuff starts to move here. You're back now. Oh, well, welcome back. So there is this joy and celebration, like this feeling of, all right, I feel like you're getting clarity in July. You're getting it's like the Eight of Pentacles when you're don't know what you want to do and you're just kind of uh like, I don't know. It feels like we just stand there because we don't know what direction we want to go. We don't want to go the wrong direction. But that's the whole thing is then when we start to decide, like, you know what? I'm gonna go this direction. I feel for you. I feel like you're a lot like me with my energy. Until I am like intending to step forward somewhere, I don't get my gut feeling until I start. If I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go do, and then blip, no, the no comes in, and then I'm like, oh, okay, and then I'm like, all right, what about this? So then I'm going to go try to do this, and it's like, yes, you feel this draw, and I feel like that's important for you with your Eight of Pentacles. That start writing things down, start making plans, start, like intending. And as soon as you do, you're going to feel like this flood to go that way or the "Bleh, no." And you're going to trust that gut inside you there. That's July. And then August, see what we have here. Yeah. So I feel, you've got the August is this, you've got this um, Page of Swords. So seeing clarity, um, cutting away fears, cutting away old beliefs, really seeing things differently. And a lot of writing, a lot of communication, I feel like list making in August. But yeah, you got the Five of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. So the struggle of patience has been there, right? But the Seven of Pentacles is the fruit that you've been waiting to comes in August. The Five of Wands too is a transformation, and like what is it? Completion, reconciliation is a better word. Reconciliation of struggle on the inside, like the I don't know, and I feel like this. Oh, August 1st. Hey, happy birthday! Yeah, so there is this clarity that comes in, and about what you're wanting to do, and the Five of Wands is the battle of energy going, well, I don't know, do I want to do that or do that, or it's the being pulled back and forth by between the brain and the heart. But there's this reconciliation, which is like, all right, the fruit is there, I've decided I'm going to go and I'm going to do this. And when you do that, then everything flows. And I feel like an important thing as you're going through all this too is there's no wrong choice, and there's no choice in our lives that really is forever. You know, it's like we're eternal beings. We live so many different lifetimes and so many experiences. Anything that even lasts a whole lifetime is just a little drop in the bucket. I feel like Spirit is just saying, don't take life so serious. Go do and live and love and enjoy. Get out of the head and into your heart is an important piece, but very much supported there. So I like it. Another Leo. Hey, August 10th. Oh wow, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, we have a wonderful Lionsgate coming up on August 8th, which I'm going to be working on a special. Pick a card with 8 options for 8 gateways. So this should be fun. All of that Leo energy. So hopefully that helps, Jeep. That's what they're having here come in. So it's an exciting couple months. Just get out of your head and into your heart is kind of like maybe just the theme, right? But that's what they have for you. So many blessings, and thank you again for your dual donations. I appreciate that. All right. Well, Johanna, you are up next. So thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like. And so sunny Friday morning to you too. So your ear infection is much better. Hallelujah. Absolutely my pleasure. And why did you run into your ex bestie? What does Spirit want you to know? All right. So let's take a look here and see what do they want you to know. Why did you bump into your ex bestie? What is the skinny behind the interaction there? All right. All right. I had a feeling it was going to be something about you, how you've changed here with this Knight of Swords. You know, you've made this movement in thinking, and it's like whatever happened, you know, even if you look at um, the situation that you had, you're looking at it differently now. It's, you know, you're not the same person you were when whatever happened that parted the seas there with this night. It just shows that you have been pursuing seeing things from a different perspective, and you're like, okay, you know, I feel like a big piece of it is that you know, have this different way of looking at yourself and life and even the situation that had happened. And that's the bottom of the deck. Let's see what else they have here. Yeah, the Three of Wands. That almost like you would have maybe taken a different approach or a different path, knowing what we do now. But an important thing is that we always do the best we can in the moment with what we know and the energy that we have. And so looking back on things and going, "Oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda," is, you know, mute because we were there, um, you know, in that energy at the time with whatever, and we experienced what we experienced. You know, there's really no need for regret or guilt or wishing something would have been different. It's like, all right, you know, whatever happened, happened. I can choose my future differently with new knowledge that I've gleaned since then. So I might make a different decision than I would today, but it doesn't mean that I have to. Just it's a good to know that, you know what? I learned, I grew, I've grown, and to let the guilt go. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, the Hermit. And this feeling of that it was important for you to have the time to yourself because it was a transformative time for both of you. And it was designed, you both wanted that to happen at that time in your life so that you wouldn't have this bestie to turn to, so that you would turn to your real bestie, who is the only trustworthy bestie, which is your higher self in spirit, you know. So they just want you to know that, you know, it was designed and both of you have learned a lot being independent that you wouldn't have learned had you been together influencing each other, causing trouble and end up in jail, you know, all the normal stuff. I'm just kidding. Yeah. The Seven of Pentacles tells me too that, you know, the Seven of Pentacles is this journey of growth, and that when we get like a slow moving card, that, you know, it's gives us the time to raise our inner vibration because we're turning inward and upward. You know, when we have like these almost crutches, canes, things that are um keeping us from being independent and inward and upward, they can become like like we call it a crutch here in the United States, where it makes it become dependent upon the crutch instead of depending upon ourselves, and we don't strengthen like the leg that needs to be walked on. Instead, I'm going to lean on the crutch, and but the doctor, you know, you need to walk on your crutch. You need to do that to strengthen your leg. You need to try it, don't depend on the crutch as much. And so this independence was necessary in this time, you know, is what they want you to know there. Yeah, because you have the 9 of cups, the 9 of chalices, and, this is like there was this, it's again the hermit's journey number, but there is this turning inward and upward and the dream, the emotional fulfillment comes from the ace of cups, the chalice, right? And so that inner journey of finding my independent emotions and where what my fulfillment emotionally comes from in here. So again, they're just reiterating that there. Yeah. And the Knight of Wands, there's a lot of energy with the Knight of Wands. They're the fastest moving out of it all. And it's also, they have a quest of finding personal power. And so that is an important thing, you know, with this journey that's coming in here. Oh, you felt like you're like you were dissolving, yeah. So it was this, necessary thing. Now it was, of course, this bestie was meant. You had the Six of Cups, which is all about the past life connections. So you guys have been buddies, in past lives too. But this one, it was designed to have an ending at that time so that you could find that independence. So that's what's coming in there for you with that. So it's more of a reflection to see how much you've grown since then, so that you can see, like, I wouldn't have had that growth had I stayed there. So it's a good reflection kind of opportunity. You're not surprised. So there you go. Boom, 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 right? I like it. I like it. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Wowza. All right. Hey, Lady A. Hello, everybody. Hey, Nova. Sean G. Hello. And all right. So we've got some more coming in here. So just let everyone know. So we've got coming up next, got HTTPS, and then Infinity, and then Nicole. And then we've got MMC, a couple from Sean G, and a few from Supernova. So we will do that. Absolutely. You got the message loud and clear, right? You're so funny, Johanna. So much love to you. Thank you, my friend. All right. So HTTPS, little brother. Hello. Let's give you some love and a like there. Thank you for your donation. So messages from your spirit team. All right. Let's take a look here and see what we have here. So what the spirit wants you to know right now, your spirit team. All right. So 21211. Let's see what all this is about here. All right. Well, by the card on the bottom of the deck, which is the Two of Cups, it's really a lot about relationships that's coming in here, and that can be relationship to your higher self, which is the, you know, influencer of all our relationships, romantic, family, friends, coworkers, even with our feather babies and fin babies and fur babies, all of this um, starts with the love and the connection between us and our higher self, which is our connection to the higher realms. So I do see all that being the theme that they want you to know about, the human relationships stemmed from your higher relationships. So we do have that. And let's see what we have coming in here. Yeah, so you've got the moon coming in. So this is Mother Luna. So relationship with mom and any kind of motherly, divine mother influences in your life, which could be grandmother, aunts, even self-appointed mothers. I know when I was working in the call center full of women, I had a multitude of mothers who were making sure I was okay and concerned about my life. And it was uncomfortable in the beginning, but then you realize how loved you are and how they truly care with a mother's heart. So I feel like you have this motherly type energy, um, whether it's on earth and from above, that you've got this energy coming in, and that this relationship with mother, capital M mother, is very important for you during this time. And I feel like July is an important month of mother for you, and mothering. So I like that. Um, yeah, so that's what they want to know. They're just kind of leaving that a little vague. But you got the Ace of Pentacles coming in, which is new opportunities opening up regarding friendships, relationships, and interactions here. So if you've had any kind of falling out with any individuals because of um, misunderstandings, or could have been for years and years and years too, I feel like there is going to be this reemergence um, of this energy that's coming in here. And so you've got the Six of Pentacles here, which is all about your that's on the bottom of the deck under the Two of Cups, which is like this energy of you know how much you feel you have to give to receive, which goes back to mother and father and important people in our lives when we were younger too. And so that comes in, with all this kind of the importance of your relationship with your inner child, and with all this that's working below the surface in the subconscious world, right? It's like, this how how unworthy we felt when we were children, which a lot of humans do, but it's realizing, bringing that subconscious rate of exchange that's usually way out of balance in the beginning, till we start bringing it to our consciousness, start releasing people. And I talk about it, we've got this um, Six of Pentacles. I'm sure I've shared it before with you. So, but just in case this is for anyone else, we've got the episodes 4 and 5 of my Take 10 with Zen, and the one episode 5 is about the Six of Pentacles, which does talk to us about doing that. So I feel like this is an important relationships. Like again, are with humans are highlighted here, right? Yeah. Again, we've got this divine feminine energy in the world card, which is an ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures, letting the old ways of things go. And the high priestess, she steps back, and connects with the higher realms, goes behind the veil, dives deep into emotions. And so, again, there is the subconscious change of cycles that comes in here. And it can be if, um, you know, like with your partner, we can sometimes unknowingly, subconsciously put this rate of exchange in that relationship too, right? Because I know for me, it impacted school and work and relationships with friends and lovers and family and everyone else, until we realize this rate of exchange down below, and we can change that and have that alter to be, one to one. That's there. And of course, one of the big things we realize is that, um, with this Six of Pentacles, if you listen to that video, it's realizing that, like, those individuals, like parents are the usual suspects, right? The usual ones, because they're the ones that influence us the most and that we want the most from as children. And we think that they know they're perfect and they know everything and that they're going to give us everything, that we're as we as little children want. And then we, of course, are disappointed, like all children are, because they only know what they learned from their parents, and they only learned what they learned from their parents, and they only learned what they learned from their parents. It goes back and it's passed on to us over and over again, right? And we realize that, you know, they did the best they could with what they knew at the time. Everyone always does. And I know for me, a big aha came when I found out what my parents' childhoods were like. And I'm like, wow, that you guys survived and that you kept us alive and didn't abuse me. I'm wow, you know. Even though I felt very alone, I'm like growing up and abandoned feelings like most children probably. It was like, wow, I see how, you know, they also didn't have perfect parents to give them the perfect example. They're doing the best they could. And there was this release that happened, knowing that, you know, whatever they were giving to me, they it was a reflection of how they felt about themselves, you know. And so when we look at, you know, individuals and, you know, hey Nova, hang in there, my dear. Just take some deep breaths, come back to here right now, don't do anything. I know you said you're feeling that way, but don't do anything. But like Nova, you know, you said your mom doesn't pay any effort to you. She doesn't pay any effort to her own self, you know. No one can give us something they don't have for themselves. And I feel like this is a message for a lot of us that when we realize our parents did the best they could, they didn't intentionally do things. They just regurgitated what they learned and they only saw the world through their own viewpoints. And you know, it's like we can have this, you know, change of patterns and the way that we look at things that changes here. So I feel like this is an important part of your journey, and possibly, you know, if you've done a lot of your inner work, https, you know, you might have already done a lot of this. It could be this is what you are destined to share too. Let's take a look here. Yeah, the Queen of Swords, the balancing of the head and the heart, you know, coming in here, seeing things from that different perspective that the Queen of Swords offers, with all of that too. And yeah, the Five of Pentacles. So here is that transformation, these feelings of abandonment. You know, this is my poster child card for my life, by my astrology. I have ton of Pisces energy in my second house, which is this house of worth. So that's been my journey, discovering self-worth and transforming it from having ourselves defined by people's actions in the outside world, and that I can trust creator and that they will never abandon. They are always there. They are the trustworthy ones. So there's that higher transformation of looking at the humans as children, raising children, raising children, raising children, and really the only adult in the room is the creator, right? The universe. They're like they're the adults, and we're all children here, especially as our human side is all children in comparison to everything. So a big transformation. I mean, you've got these things on the bottom of the deck, the Five of Swords, the changing of the way of looking at things, some inner conflict, that can be resolved and transformed. So I feel like there's just a nudging, especially with the High Priestess, just to take a big deep breath and take a step back and look at some of those, you know, out of balance subconscious belief systems that are on autopilot running below the surface, because there's some more freedom that can be gleaned by that inner reflection. So hopefully that helps. HTTPS, but that's what they have right now for you. Huge, just a little bit thing, you know, but so freeing with it as well. You are very welcome, and thank you again for your donation. Yeah. And Nova, and for anyone else that's feeling all this anxiety of the universe, I think it was yesterday or the day before I woke up and I felt so anxious waking up. And it's like I felt like there's a great amount of fear across the world, So, just try to take as much deep breaths as you can. Come back to center, right? Because when we're drawn out into the world, that's when we feel all of this, you know, um, things going on in the outside world. I'm in fear, I'm in fight or flight. If I'm trying to escape out of this world, like that's what suicidal tendencies are, right? It's like the ultimate fight or flight. It's the ultimate flight. Get me out of here. That's what I went through when I was 22. I was going to end my life because it was too scary to stay here. And I thought, oh my gosh, but come back to now, not the past, not the future. Come back to now and breathe. And we realize we got everything we need right here, right now, right? So beautiful, beautiful energy in this moment. Yeah. And it's like, what are we afraid of? What's the worst that could happen? Well, what are we fearing, right? I know for me, the reason why I spared, well, being creator stepped in, but it was like, what's the worst that could happen? I could die. Well, I'm going to try to end my life. So, let's just, stick around some more. Could always do it later. That was I know it sounds a bit dark, but it was like, and if it doesn't, I could always do it later, but let me just give it more time. Let me just release myself from all this stuff and I'm going to live and do whatever I want. And that's where the freedom comes in, is when we let go of the things causing the fears, right? So hang in there. We will get to you in a little bit here, Nova, but hang in there and yeah, play music, do all that stuff that brings you back to center, connect to your spiritual posse. They are all around you, giving love, going, hey, hey, hey. especially especially Kurt. He's like, don't do what I did. All right. So much love. Hang in there, my dear. All right, we'll continue down with the readings here. In Infinity, you are up next. Let's give you some love and a like there. And thank you so much for the donation. You want to know, does L think you're a bad person, dishonest? Does he dislike you, or how does he feel? All right, let's take a look here. Of course, when we ask about other people's feelings, it's so much none of our business. That's why I love the meme. Other people's opinions or feelings or thoughts about us are none of our business, because it really has little to do with us and more so about the mirror that they're looking in, the glasses through which they're looking. If they see you as there was this uh, little story I heard about this woman you know, looking out their breakfast nook window at the neighbors, and she's like, "Look at them putting those dirty sheets on their clothesline." And she was like, "Oh God, they don't know how to do laundry." And then the next week, because they would do like their laundry every Sunday, and they go like, "There they are again. I just can't believe that they just don't know how to do it." And blah, went on for like a month. And then one Sunday, she went and they were having breakfast with her husband, and she's like, "Finally, look, they learned how to clean laundry." And he goes, "Well, no, I just washed our windows." So she had been seeing through the windows the dirt on her windows, thinking it was on the neighbor's white sheets, but no, it was her own window that was dirty, not the sheets. So her perception of those sheets was not correct, because it was her own window that needed cleaning, not someone else needing that, right? And so when we ask about other people, just keep that in mind. I love spirit speaks to me in stories, because I learn a lot through stories. So hopefully that is a good perspective there. So let's take a look here and just see, with all that said, what is going on inside of them, right? So, do they think you're a bad person? That's number one. Do they think you're dishonest? Number two. Does he dislike you? Two cards for that one. And then how does he feel? Let's take a look here. All right. Yeah, So, the bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man, and I always look at this, even though it's like a bat. I always look at it as like a cocoon, a card of transformation, a card of seeing things from a different perspective and learning to see things from a different perspective. And so when they're going through their transformation, then of course they've got this, energy that's coming in, this, um, influence that's, when we're going through uncomfortable things in our life, we see the world differently. But also, as we change, the world changes because we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. So, as we change, then our view of things changes too. So, I like that they're affirming that with that card. Let's see. So, number one, let me scroll back up here and get the questions. Because bruddaZEN doesn't have a good memory. Spirit does, which is good. But does he think you're a bad person? Seven of Swords, they've got these own deceptive thoughts of themselves. And so because of the mirror that they feel like they have these thoughts and beliefs that lie to them, that deceive them, that thief from them. They also don't trust people. They think that other people are deceptive and that people, and it's not just you, they're just putting everyone in a bucket. Don't trust people. You have to watch them. So they've got this mistrust of people just right off the bat. So they don't think you're a bad person. They just think no one can be trusted. In the beginning, people have to prove their trust. There's different types of individuals, different humans. Some of us will, give everyone the what is it called? The shadow of a doubt, right? We'll give people the shadow of the doubt and go, I know I just trust people till they um show me they can't be trusted. Others, like this one, they don't trust people off the bat. They're like, no, I don't trust anyone. You have to earn my trust. Other people, you have to break my trust to lose it. Others, they have no trust until you gain it. So that's the kind of energy. Not a bad person. They just feel everyone can't be trusted. You have to prove it to me first. So that's coming in. Do they feel you're dishonest? Nine of Pentacles. No, Nine of Pentacles. They're very independent, and I feel like because of these trust issues that they really keep their worth and they keep their possessions, they keep things to themselves. They don't trust people with things. And so because they don't trust anyone, they think everyone, not so much dishonest, but I feel like those energies go together. They're like, no, they hold everything close. They feel very isolated, and they isolate themselves because they don't trust people. And so it's like a turtle; they don't stick their head out until they feel like it's safe to do so, if that makes sense. Does he dislike you? Let's take a look here. No, not at all. Got the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Wands, so there's attraction and energy there, and the Ace of Cups is positive emotions here. So I feel like, because of this mistrust, I feel like you pick up on all this energy of like a wall, and you go like, why is this wall up? Does he not like me? No, he doesn't trust anyone. But with this and with all this, both the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Cups, there is this energy of, that they do like you. They're like, you're like someone that, if you kind of look at it as like they have their inner sanctum where no one gets in, and then they have the outer sanctum, and then another one and another one and another one. There's all these gates that people have to pass through to get close to them, and you're much further in than a lot of people. So even though it doesn't feel like it, you are, with this energy. And then, so how does he feel about you? Let's take a look here. And let's see here. Yeah. You know, you've got the star card, which is like a bright, I feel like you're a bright star, a bright light in the darkness that they're going through. And, the high priestess here too, I feel like, they do feel here that you it's like you pick up things that are there, and it kind of scares them a little bit because it's like in that inner sanctum, if you people who are highly empathic, that connect with people from a higher place of unconditional love, kind of have free access where you can go into people's hearts and souls, and you're like tap on their shoulder like, oh god, what are you doing in here? How did you get in here? That's the kind of feeling I have here, is like, how do you know this stuff? It's like they just feel like you are looking into their soul, and that's what kind of scares them sometimes. But we've got the Justice card and the Eight of Swords. This is them working through those, Seven of Swords, these deceptive feelings and thoughts, and so their perception of you has been changing, which shows that you've been passing kind of the tests that their inner child puts in, like, I don't trust anyone, but I'm starting to trust you. I'll let you in. I'm giving you access again. I'm letting you closer than others here. And I got the Four of Wands, which is joy and celebration, and this kind of energy. So I don't feel like they don't, that they don't have any ill feelings towards you specifically, just they don't trust people further than they can throw them, but they do have allowed you further access, if that makes sense. So that's what they want you to know right now, Infinity. So just realize this says a lot that they don't trust themselves, and so that's why they don't what they can't give to themselves, they can't give to anyone else yet. So they're working on that. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then I believe here, Nicole, you were up next. All right. So thank you for your donation. And then you said don't say that, please, but you put it out in public here. So if you don't want that there, you might delete that. All right. But we'll give you a reading here then on just these what spirit wants you to know about this betrayal. All right. All right. So what does spirit wants you to know here about this? All right. And then that one. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So, okay. So, Nicole, you'll be up. And then just to give everyone a quick update. So, MMC will be up after that. Sean G twice. Supernova 3 times. Then Lady A back to 2 for Nova. And then back to Lady A. So, hang in there. And thank you guys so much for your donations, too. So, we'll definitely get to everything here. All right. So, Nicole, let's take a look here. The bottom of the deck, we've got the King of Chalices, the King of Cups, which is about balancing between the head and the heart, because they roll over the cup suit, but all the kings get a second portion of air thinking, right? So there's this balancing of the head and the heart. You even got Temperance here, which is kind of a balancing energy underneath that, too, overall. And you know these feelings and everything, it's like we've got these thoughts of when people do this is what it means, and the story that gets applied, but the heart interprets it and feels things differently and can kind of make it about them, our heart, especially our little child heart, which is like, when they did this means this about me, and this is how they feel about me. And then the alarms go off, right? And then that's when we put this definition of betrayal. Well, let's see what they have, the cards that came out. You got 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 1. So let's see what all this is about here. Yeah. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, self nurturing, and the Devil card, which is the Saturn Capricorn energy, which shakes and rattles our cages of beliefs, right? And so, a piece of there's the reasons why humans do what they do, but then there's the real reason, the behind the scenes, below the surface, what your higher self wanted to learn through an experience. And when you get like a devil card, it's shadow energy, it's reflecting on what's going on below the surface, right? And so when we have something that happens, like a betrayal or, whatever happens in the outside world, it's to show us and to point us back to what thoughts and beliefs up here with this the devil card is about, challenging our long held beliefs around a story that when something happens, this is what it means. So it is being brought up on purpose for a purpose to be able to face that and understand what this is here. We'll take a look here. Yeah. So there is this opportunity to see things from a higher perspective, and the 8 of Cups, understanding, um, you know, leaving behind emotions that no longer serve us. The Hanged Man is the transformative. It's like a cocoon, gives us time to step away, look at things differently, transform things. And this 8 of Cups allows us to look at some old emotions. So, betrayal, the feeling of betrayal is not new. It is something that happened a long time ago that's just echoing from the past. And so this 8 of Cups allows us to go back and look at where was the original betrayal that all these echoes throughout our lives happen. It's really interesting. It's a great book, The Presence Process by Michael Brown. They talk about how like a lot of our emotional body is created 7 years old and younger, and all the stuff we learn there that we stuff down just keeps being echoed because our inner child will keep sending us messengers to look back at that until we go back and look at it. And so he had um this really interesting process, I guess it's process, where you think about, all right, so today's betrayal, I see that. How does that feel? When's the last time I felt that? Not the last time I had this situation, the last time I felt this. And then I go back, okay, that was, 5 years ago. That was when my boss did this. I felt that betrayal, this feeling of abandonment, betrayal. And then, all right, when before that, you keep on going, eventually we go back into our childhood and we're like, there it is. And then that's where we transform. We're able to look at that and see it differently, pick up our inner child and allow, them to hold them. And then there's this change of story that happens with that. So if you're interested in that, the presence process is an amazing book, but I feel like that's what's coming in here. Yeah. So you have the 4 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups, and the 9 of Cups is this journey of finding our self-love, and the 4 of Pentacles is the story of home as well. And when we look at the story of home, home is where the heart is, but also we have these expectations of home being safe, and there's a lot of our home is built of walls of expectations, right? That we expect certain people to act certain ways, and when they don't, we feel disappointed, we feel wronged, and then all those stories kick in, right? Of, well, you do that, you're not supposed to. This means you don't love me, and all that bleh, that comes with that, right? So when we realize that whatever has unfolded for us, with that number 4, there's like 4 4 4, it's for us. We move from this place of that things in the outside world are happening to us, and we can see that I chose this to happen for me, to be this mirror to show me, to release me from these expectations, to release me from these fears, because there's freedom that comes in that. When we are told and taught, well, that person's actions mean something about me, I feel out of control. I feel like I'm like a one of those puppets with strings. Their actions impact me and who I'm supposed to be and what I'm doing, right? And it's like, no, it doesn't have to. There's a freedom that can come from this. Let's see what else they have here. Yeah. So you have the King of Wands, your higher self, is what that's representing in this particular reading, and the Eight of Pentacles, which is the transformation of things, the master, the apprentice that's becoming the master, the realization of things. And when we are able to step away from our human characteristic side of us, when we realize that our human is just one small piece of who we really are, that we are these powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love, we see things, like with that, with the hanged man, of seeing things from a different perspective. We see we're truly butterflies, we're not caterpillars, and we begin to leave behind caterpillar ways of that feelings of betrayal. And so when we, there is this huge transformation that comes through all this. Let me see what this last card is. Yeah, Two of Chalices, the Two of Cups. Important relationships in our life. One, this is about connecting and realizing there's two of us that are living this human experience. And when I can see things from my higher self's perspective, it puts things into proper um, perspective, because I find my inner love is what I'm looking for, right? Inward and upward, I find the love I've been looking for all along, that eternal, unconditional love from above. The other thing is, if a relationship is important enough with this Two of Cups, that we can step back and go, all right, let me see everything from different perspectives. What was I fearing in this? And once I work through you know, what story I put on it and release myself from it, I can see things differently. I can see that person differently. And then we can transform and heal relationships. We determine if it's something we care about, you know. Sometimes we're like, nah, it's not worth it. Cost benefit analysis. I learned what I needed to learn through that relationship, and I don't need it. And that's okay. There's no harm, no foul, there's no judgment from spirit side. But if it's important to you, then we look at, regardless if it's important to us, it happened on purpose for me. So I'm going to learn otherwise, I'm just going to invite more mirrors that are going to show me the same thing. You know, that's history, that I experienced. That's what happens, right? I can run from one mirror, but if the reflection doesn't change, then it doesn't matter what mirror I look in. I'm going to keep seeing the same thing till I look at it, right? So it's important for us to look at that and go, okay, what am I fearing? What's this betrayal, the small t truth of fear that I have applied to this? And do I want to change that story? And then if I do, then I can have a relationship with that person if I care enough about them, because I see things differently now. But if I don't care, then at least learn it so that you don't experience it through more mirrors. So hopefully that helps, Nicole. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you, and thank you again for your donation. All right. So let me see where I'm at here. So MMC, you are up next. All right. Let's move that out of the way. Let's give that some love and a like here. And see, like a general for next week, career wise. Absolutely. Let's take a sip here. All right. The frog in the throat. All right. I think it's gone. All right, MMC. So let's take a look here. So career-wise, what does Spirit want you to know about next week? Boom, 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 and boom. All right. So the bottom of the deck here, I just feel like you have the Three of Wands, which is about a change of direction that you want to take here. You have the Page of Wands on the bottom as well, which is standing out here, which is about new passion, new energy, looking for something different. And the Three of Wands comes in, which, when we discover something, we have new information that makes us want to take a different off ramp and go, like I said, in a different direction. So we'll see. Wait, you got three. Oh, actually, there's four cards. I didn't see the one. There's one hidden. So there's three cards with one hidden, and then one card, one card. So let's see what this is. Let's see what the hidden thing is first, because we like to know that. Yeah, here's the Magician. So here's this energy that's coming. It's funny that there's suddenly a spotlight coming in my window, but there is this energy of that you have everything within you that you want to do, that you need to really live the true desire, the true, like, your what makes your heart sing, what makes your heart want to dance, what how do you uniquely want to express the unconditional love within you with the world. The Magician card has the infinity symbol, which shows that this is your higher self, and they usually have like one hand pointed like the wand to the that, and then the one hand to the ground, which is how do you want to bring this love energy into the world? How do you uniquely want to do that? And I feel like that is this change around career of you're just getting to the point that you're tired of existing and you're wanting to live. I want to live. I don't want to work. I'm sorry, live to work. I want to work so I can live. And so a career change is not a job. A career is a dharma. It's a life purpose. It's how I want to share this within me with the world, and I don't have to listen to everyone else. So you've got your higher self here calling you to this higher place. Here's your calling. So that's exactly what we're talking about here is your higher self is going, we want more. We don't want just to check off all these things in the head of the supposed tos and shoulds and need tos that you've been given, like a dream that you've been given. It's like when you wake up in the morning going, oh crap, I got to go live my dream today. That's not your dream, that's someone else's dream, right? This is something that excites you. This is something, here's this Ace of Cups. Sorry, we're having a lot of bright light. The light is shining on this new opportunity, this Ace of Cups. How do you uniquely, and you can see here how they're filling up and overflowing to the world, and that's what happens here is you're allowing yourself to fill up and overflow that in your own special way. You got the Eight of Wands too, which Eight of Wands is a lot of energy coming in. And this is what happens when we're living someone else's dream, or not even living a dream, but just working, we feel empty. We feel exhausted. We are tired. We just don't feel like motivated. It's like I said, got to go to work today. But when you're living your dream, you wake up early, excited to go and do things and share things and do things with, into the world. And I feel like this is what there's this change that's coming in here for you. These other two cards, you have the King of Pentacles. So just know that there's a difference between money and feeling full. And like an example, like they're just showing me is like I used to almost make six figures a year, and I was almost on the point of having a nervous breakdown because I was investing so much of my energy and time into achieving these goals that I've been put in my head of, well, this is what you're supposed to do and everything you're supposed to have and blah 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 blah, and you're just like driving yourself into the ground, and then you realize um like it was like what 2020 is when COVID hit. I was like, what am I doing what am I doing? That's a good question. What am I doing? I'm existing, I'm not living. And because I would do a little bit of spiritual stuff, but I was so tired from doing my job that I couldn't live my dream. It was like because you can barely keep an eye open to live your dream. And I'm like, people are dying. And what am I waiting for to live my dream? To die? No. And then suddenly I changed all of my perception of what abundance looks like. And now I'm, I sold my car, which is something I'm like, oh my God, without a vehicle. And I'm living in a friend's basement, and to be open to receiving that was a huge thing for me to do because I didn't want to feel dependent. Not that it's dependent, but I didn't want to rely on someone. You know, no, I've got to do it myself. I'm like, no, it's the change of how we perceive abundance is important to you. And you got the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is emotional choice that comes in here, and we make a choice every moment. I get to decide how I feel about things, even though I'm told a lot of things growing up about when this happens, this is how you're supposed to feel, that happens. But my feelings, I chose to change and go, you know what? I am redefining my life. I'm redefining how I feel about things, and I'm the one who gets to choose. Everyone gets to choose for themselves. But what keeps us from stepping off and living and doing what we're wanting to do is what is everyone going to think? How are they going to feel? Blah, blah, blah. Abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of failure, or whatever. But there's a great amount of freedom that comes in. So I feel like this is a time for you to step out of that, and really decide from your heart, how do I uniquely want to give this love in my heart to the world? That's living, not existing. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, MMC. So many blessings to you. All right. So Sean G, you are up next. Thank you for your dual donations. Let me take another sip here. All right. So let's give that a love and a like for your first one here. And you'd like guidance for the weekend. That's right, it's the weekend. All right, Sean, let's take a look here. So, what do they want you to know? All right, for the weekend. It's that song, Everybody's Working for the Weekend. I won't sing it any more than I just did. Even though I have an awesome voice, I just don't want to take away from the reading by mesmerizing you with my wonderful voice. Okay. So this weekend, I don't know why I'm so giddy today. We've got the Hierophant, which is about, seeing things. It's like your higher self wanting you to see things from a different perspective this weekend, a higher perspective. What's the truth of the weekend? What's the capital T truth of this weekend? They're like, what do you want? What are you looking for? And can that really give you what you're looking for? And because you have the Death card coming in here, which is an ending. Oh, it's the Devil card, not the Death card. But you have the Devil card, which is the Death card. It's kind of, intertwined anyway, because this Capricorn, Saturn, challenging energy, is about the ending of the small t truths, the stories that we're putting to things. So I feel like this weekend is about changing stories, changing perspectives, changing definitions of things. We'll see what else that means here. Yeah, you got so you've got four major arcana so far. You got the Empress, which is, birthing, and you have the Full card. I love these cards, which is the ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures. So there is definitely a birthing of something new, a new perspective of looking at things, because when our heart changes, our mind changes, and things change in the outside world, our energy changes, it invites new things in. And I feel like there is this kind of letting go of the old stories, letting go of what things mean now in the moment, what things have meant, and what you feel things will mean. It's like there's this throwing out a box of old rules and going, why am I even holding on to this? These, I don't need these anymore. It's like a new adventure that's free. So much freedom coming in here, so much creativity coming in here. And I feel it's significant because you've got four major arcana. Major arcana is like life changing things. Minor arcana are like things that change the day, that change the moment. Major arcana are like things that change your life. So I like that. Yeah, and you have the Ace of Cups, finding your self love, allowing that to fill you up and overflow out to the world. It's realizing that the outside world can't bring you what your heart is hungering for, that only inward and upward can you fill up and overflow. Then that does change how we perceive everything in the outside world, because the outside world changes from a place of lacking and falling short to something that's above and beyond extra and overflowing. Because if we're overflowing and anyone adds just as more overflow, it's a more above and beyond extra that comes in. So I like this. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, the Queen of Swords, the balancing of the head and the heart, seeing things from this more capital T truth. She has that Ace of Swords, which allows you to see things from a place of unconditional love. Ace of Cups is full of unconditional love, but it also allows you to just really balance life. And um, it allows that Ace of Swords is what allows you to cut away those stories. Swords is the stories, is the thoughts, is the beliefs, is the mindsets. So this is you stepping into your divine feminine authority over your stories and realizing, yeah, I've been given a lot of stories growing up about that's supposed to mean that, that's supposed to mean that, that should mean that, that has to mean that, blah, 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 blah. A lot of opinion that's been given, but you don't have to accept it anymore. As children, we just like, sure, I don't know any better. We just take on all these beliefs and fill up our head where it's way out of balance of all these thoughts and beliefs that are rooted in fear. And we're like, that is enough. I don't have to believe that anymore. I get to choose. So it's stepping into your authority a lot around the stories. Okay. I kind of feel like it's going to be a weekend of try to spend as much time inward and upward. You got the Hermit and the High Priestess. Both of these are that type of energy where it's inward and upward, inward and upward. The High Priestess goes into her High Priestess temple to connect to spirit, to look beyond the veil, dive deep. The Hermit steps away, connects with spirit, allows them to be the guide, the light for their path, and to guide them. So I feel like it's a kind of almost like a hang as much with yourself out in, if you can get out into nature, get out to where it's quiet, get away from the chaos, journaling, reflection. It's a lot of self-nurturing energy for this weekend, I feel is what spirit is kind of guiding you to do, because it does change things. Hey, Shanji, you're here. So that is what they have for you. All right, for that one. Hey, Delcy, welcome from California. And Jen and Jazz and everybody. Hello, hello, everybody. All right. So hopefully that resonates and makes sense. You're like, oh, I don't want to stay at home, but you don't have to stay at home. It's about going places that you can just connect with spirit, connect with Mother Earth, whatever those things are for you. You can still spend time with some people, but I feel like it's a big weekend of to yourself. All right. And then thank you for your additional donation. And you want to know you're having a sale this weekend. Oh, well, maybe you're going to be by yourself a whole lot. So, will you reach your sales goal? Let's take a look here. You can still be in a crowd full of people and still have your alone time, right? It's all about self-reflection. Let's see here. So, will you reach your sales goal? What does the spirit want you to know about? Will you reach your sales goal? Oh my goodness. Yawn, yawn. Tell you, I've been dreaming like crazy. I wake up feeling like I was dreaming all night because I was. All right. Well, you got some powerful energy coming in here. You do have the possibility of reaching your sales goal. You got the Emperor and the Magician, fiery energy. They all are about deciding what I want, putting a plan, putting energy, and focusing it, realizing what I'm focusing on. So, like, if I'm like, okay, this is the sales goal I want, this is the sales goal I want. If I focus on wanting it, then I push it further away and I don't achieve it because I'm telling the universe, I enjoy wanting to reach that sales goal, but not reaching it. Because if I reach it, then my wanting goes away, but I'm focusing on the wanting, right? So if we have gratitude and go, I know you're going to bring, this is what I would like. And if it's for my highest, I would just release it to you. And I'm grateful that you're going to have the sales come in that are perfect for me. And I trust you. And I'm grateful for that. And it's about gratitude and higher vibrational, type of energy that comes in there. Right. So, we've got the star card coming in, which is the dream, right? So your dream, you have the 10 of wands, which is about, sorry, try to get it to where it's not so bright, but it's the 10 of wands is a lot of energy being invested. And you have the page of pentacles, which is abundance coming in. So if you can be, um, refocus your energy from the wanting to the, um, gratitude, then that's what this comes in here. It's like, we can have a dream, we tell the universe the dream, but we don't focus on that I don't have my dream or that I want my dream or the things I fear around it, because that just grows all that stuff. Instead, I'm like, here's my dream. I'm so grateful that you're always going to bring me the perfect situation in the perfect way in the perfect timing, and I trust you. And I'm grateful. Gratitude, gratitude, love, love, and grateful for all the other times. You think about all the times that you met goals and you're grateful for those times. Then you're telling the universe and that energy of, I'm just so thankful for all those times that you had all that stuff come in. So I like that. Let's see what else here. Yep, you have the strength. Here is connecting with your higher self. The lion is your human, and the lamb in this one is your higher self. And again, there's this trust that everything unfolds here. Let's see what this other one's are here too. Yeah. So you got the 10 of cups, joy, celebration, the knight of swords. It's all about perspective. It's all about ways of thinking and how we look at things, right? So I definitely feel like there is this, you can reach your sales goal, but it's about what you're focusing on is what helps bring it. It's like a wonderful opportunity to really understand um, manifestation. And that manifestation isn't about the I want, but I'm so grateful for all the times that things have happened, for what I have now, and for what you're bringing me in this trust. It's a higher vibrational energy. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what they have coming in for you right now, Shanji. So thank you again for your dual donations. I appreciate those. And best of luck. Have an amazing weekend. All right. And then Nova, Supernova. Thank you for your multiple donations. So let us start with the first salt shaker for question number one. And I'm so grateful for that. So, what do you need to know about your life? You've been really depressed lately. Yeah, let's take a look here and see. What does Spirit want you to know about your life right now? And what's the source of this? Yeah. So, you've got the Seven of Swords on the bottom, which is all about our deceptive thoughts, things that have stolen from us in the past, the stories of supposed to, and should, and that this is what certain things mean. And we do feel that, you know and I like how the Seven of Swords shows two swords dropped, and sometimes they'll have like three swords and two swords. They'll have like them in different hands, which shows me like there's things I've learned and I've transformed out of. There's things I'm currently working on. There's some things I don't understand yet that are below the surface that are triggering. And so the Seven of Swords is this: things are being brought up for you to look at now in your life to release them. And you even have the Queen of Swords here, who is, she has the power to cut away with that Ace of Swords, some of those things. So it is a time, and just letting that there are things that you definitely have transformed out of and let go of, things that you're aware of that you're working on now. But there's a lot of stuff, there's still some stuff that you're unaware of that are running on autopilot below the surface. I know that they bring up counseling, and it's very important. It's like making that a priority, because they're going to give you tools. They're going to allow to bring up things to be able to get rid of them, and so that they help you um, untrigger those triggers. They like get rid of the release mechanism so that it's not triggering, so that you can transform out of those things. And so they really give you tools to help with that. And I feel like that's an important piece here, that it's someone, and there is someone there. We've got the you have both the Queen of Wands and the King of Chalices, which there's these, I feel like it's the same individual, but there is this person that you're going to be able to connect with, a counselor that brings you this balance between your head and your heart, and help you connect with the fire that's within you, with that Queen of Wands, and help you you know step into your power more and more and more. They're just part of your journey. So I feel like that's an important thing there. Yeah, you kind of don't got hope and able to find counseling. Yeah, yeah. And when we kind of don't have that hope, then, that's what, it's like we have to just find that out of all the energy and go, I gotta find, this is what I need that's gonna transform everything, right? Because you have the Chariot, which is movement and victory, but power of choice, and the High Priestess, who helps you get down into those things behind the scenes, below the surface. And they do help you. Again, with this Queen of Wands, they help you to be able to even connect even more with spirit, because they're helping you release these fears, this noise that you don't realize is there because you've heard it all your life. It's like if you ever have been in somewhere that has a white noise. I used to work in a call center, which, it's like a that's there, and you don't realize it's there until suddenly it cuts off, and then you're like, oh my gosh, it is so noisy. um or it's like so eerily quiet when it's suddenly like, it's like I have a fan going all the time because I like that noise. It's my white noise, and I like the movement of air. But electricity goes out, it's so deafening silent for me, because I'm like, even when I go like to travel with a hotel, I have to turn the fan on to be able to sleep. Otherwise, I hear everything. And I feel like there's this importance with all of this. So let me see what else we have here. Yeah. Yeah, because they do help you with this Five of Cups, which is this little, focusing on the lower vibrational emotions, and the Eight of Cups is being able to leave behind those emotions that don't serve and move on to something else. So, there is this bubbling up of emotions, a lot of stuff in the subconscious that I feel is being brought up with that, especially with the High Priestess. She helps get into the subconscious and below the surface. So there's a lot of these triggers where you're like, why am I feeling this way? Because if you knew, like, oh, this is why, you would know how to transform that. But I feel like these triggers are more subconscious, where you don't realize why am I freaking out? Like I went to this bar once and I was like, why is my heart beating out of my chest? Why do I have full anxiety going on? And I went outside and I realized that it's because I'd been there with one of my exes, before. And even though consciously I wasn't like, whatever, inside my inner child is going, no, this is dangerous. Weep, weep, weep. And I didn't realize what was going on until I was out there and, kind of, "God, what the hell is going on?" So I just feel like, there is that's happening. And so making that a priority. You got the Empress on the bottom. You have to have the Empress in your reading. So they're like, oh, by the way, Empress. But to open up your creativity, this is something that will even just take it to new heights. So counseling, 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 they're saying, is very, very important. Number one goal, number one, the only thing on the list, find counselor, because they're going to help you with all of this. So just open up and go, all right, here we go. Um, and journaling is helpful. It helps get things out, but um, it's getting to the root, and helping us transform those things so they don't keep triggering and coming up as well, right? Right. So that's what they have for that one, Nova. So hang in there. You can do it. I know it. You put your mind to it, you can do anything. So if we want to, right? All right. So hang in there. And then your second salt shaker. I was going to say salt and pepper, but it's not. It's just salt shaker. So thank you for your second donation. And you want to know, what do you need to know from your spirit guides? All right. Let's take a look here. So what do you need to know from your spirit guides? All right. Boom, boom, boom. So you have, on the bottom of the deck, you have the Four of Wands, which is all about energetic stability and joy and celebration, And so this is one of those important times that when we're not feeling joy, remembering what brings us joy. And if I focus on my lower vibration, then I'm just going to be growing it, right? And so it's important that if we have stuff that's triggering and we have that depression, we have different things coming up, that we do something about it. But in the moment, if we don't have that resolution, then I can bring me moments of relief by focusing on joy and that higher vibration. And so, I used to have a little book that I had with all the sayings and the things that would make me happy, so that when I felt distraught and when I felt lost and whatever, I knew it was like, open this in case of emergency. I would grab it. I just knew, I'm like, just get the book. And I would just start reading it and then do some things like go for a walk. And I'm like, oh yeah, let me go for a walk. And then I would go for a walk and it would clear my head. I'd get away from everything. And then I would come back different. That was like one of the things I had. And if I'm like, oh, it's raining out, no, blah, blah, blah. It's like the things that were there, um, both sayings and words of wisdom, but also things that I wrote down, because when I was in fear, I was out of my logical thinking, and so it always helped me bring back to balance. It brought me back. And I feel like that's important for you. It's like, write down what makes you happy and do those things in case of emergency. Even put it on your wall. In case of emergency, play a song, blah, 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 whatever those things are that help with that, right? Yeah. Because it helps us. Here's the difference between the feeling of being trapped. Let's see if I can do this here. There we go. So you can see how they're in chains down below. It's about feeling free and not chained. And this is what happens when we're in our fears. We do feel trapped. We feel restricted and constricted because some long held belief is triggering within us and this fear. And then what do we do when we're fearing? We react instead of respond. And so if we change our habit to look at this, look at this in case of an emergency. It's like, okay, here, these are the steps to take. You know, go get some juice, you know, go for a walk, play some music, um, take a shower. All these things that, you know, after I do it, I'm like, "Oh, why didn't I do this days ago?" And I'm like, "Let me write this down. Next time, I'm gonna do this stuff," and then I spend less time in it. Um, and and there's neither right or wrong, but when you're ready and you're like, "I'm tired of feeling this way," then we can move into a different, energy there too. Crab dog. It's poo poo. Yeah, helps like hell. It's like, so in case of emergency, grab my guitar and start playing, right? Yeah, and you have the 6 of Cups. So, the 6 of Cups, here's that past life connection, but that's also about stable emotions, right? Emotional stability. The 5 of Swords is the battle between the head and the heart. And these do help, the emotional stability comes in when we give the our heart what it needs, what makes it feel happy, what empowers our heart, which of course playing music is what allows that emotion to flow within you too. Yeah. And it brings you the mental stability, brings you out of that conflict into peace, right? To this peacefulness. So I feel like that's what they're giving you some hints there on what you can do. But I love that, that they remind me of that little book, and I would just know I'd write things in it that would just bring me that awareness and that brightness, and but I'd still would, it's like you don't want to put a band-aid over a wound over and over and over again that's festering. It's like I I stop the bleeding, and then I go look at what's the source of the wound. Otherwise, I keep doing the thing. Like a friend of mine, she was she had something to do with her heart, so she had blood thinners, but she kept on bumping into her bathroom door, um, the little thing that sticks out, and then she would bleed and bleed and bleed, and she had all this. She kept on having to put stuff, and I go, why don't we just put like um some masking not masking tape, electrical tape, not electrical tape, duct tape. That's the thing that men are known to use to fix everything, right? But it worked. I'm like, let's just put it over that, and then you'll stop bumping into it. And then she stopped bleeding, So that's like we get to the source of what's causing the injury, but let's stop the bleeding first, and then let's go look and then see what it is. So I feel like, you can look at that. Right. So that's what they have for you for that one. So many blessings. And then we've got number 3, which is the unicorn, the rainbow unicorn. And you're like, why has everything really been so hard? What is it meant for? All right. Well, that's probably a great question for us all, Nova. Why are things so hard? That's the way our human sees it for sure, right? Whoa, card flying out here. Yeah. All right. So the first card that came flying out is the Justice card. And uh, it's what a great answer, really, to it all, because what spirit says is, why are things hard in our life? I mean, I think we were just reading in, what book did we just finish? The Presence Process. We just finished that in our praying mantis sessions, and it's like pain and uncomfortability is growth. And when we experience discomfort in our lives, that's where we learn and grow. Because if everything was just fine, we would never grow. We would never question things that are running below the surface, that are impacting us and hurting us. We just don't realize it until the pain and the discomfort and stuff's brought up for us to look at. The justice card has the scales that are out of balance, and the ace of swords, which allows us to see things, but we it brings in the awareness that, this out of balance scale, this is all the small t truths rooted in fear that we've been inundated and piled in our life. Some of that subconscious stuff we were talking about. Two is all there, and we realize it and we learn it and we become aware of it, and then we're able to transform it and change stuff, right? And so there is this great amount of change that comes in, because uncomfortability, if it's uncomfortable, then we want to do something about it. If it's comfortable, just sit back and do nothing. But when we're motivated, and it's not like it's how life happens. It's these things trigger, and these triggers we created, our human did through its experiences. Whoop, alarms, alarms. And if we're tired of, it's like us putting up fire alarms, and then having a fire pit in our house without any, good, you know, exhaust where it can go. It's going off all the time. Like, what is this alarm going off? Well, we put the alarm there to alert us of our inner fires that are consuming things and going, oh yeah, this isn't healthy. I put that up there to tell me, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. They're things are our triggers show us what we want to see about ourselves until we change it. Um, and so there's no wrong with it. It's just, it allows us that, the changes that come with it all. Yeah. And we have the King of Cups, which is the balancing between the head and the heart, and the Knight of Cups, which is the pursuit of higher love. And the Ten of Pentacles, the feeling of fullness and the outside world. But we have all this that happens. um it's like the world is designed, well, it can't fulfill us, because what we're looking for is eternal, unconditional, stable love from above. We come down here, but all we have is unstable, temporary, unfulfilling love in the outside world and stuff, to where when we look out there enough, we're like, ugh, and then because of the we turn inward and upward, and we find that, so we have that, it allows us the questioning and seeing things, right? Yeah, yeah. And so, like we said here, we've got the death and the rebirth of the letting go of those seven of swords are deceptive thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. And it allows us to see also our power of choice with the two of pentacles. We have two options to choose in the outside world, and we wouldn't choose a different one. It's like, if I'm satisfied enough with something that's unhealthy for me, eventually, um, it'll just um, kill me, right? It'll eventually just, I won't have any motivation. I won't have any life left within me. But if it impacts me enough and makes me sick and everything else, then I will make a change. I'll go, well, is there another option? Then there is. And we realize that there's two options. There's lower vibrational, higher vibrational. Neither's right, neither's wrong. They just bring us different experiences. And if these experiences get loud enough, then I'm like, I wonder what silence is like. And then we discover it, right? Peace. So that is what's coming in there. So many blessings to you for that one there. And oh my gosh, it's already 12:50. Time is flying by. So I have a ton of more donations, and I had one come through the Cash App too. So everyone, make sure all your questions are here, and I'm gonna do one more, and then I'll take screenshots of everything. And for those of you waiting for free readings, thank you so much for your patience. I will get to those today. In about 5 minutes or so, I'm gonna head off and go spend about an hour with my praying mantis members, and then eat. If you heard my stomach growling a minute ago, and then I'm going to come back and complete all the donations first, diving deep into those as I do. And then I will complete all the free readings as well. And then I'll be back tonight too at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, which is about 5 hours from now. So I will return. So thank you guys for your patience in getting to all of your readings here. So Lady A, let's do your first one here. So let's give that a love and a like here. And I think this first one here is you agreed that your ex-kid's father can come to the kid's graduation with his current girlfriend, and he did not show up. What were his feelings about not showing up? Right? At least you did the right thing, right? You feel like at least I said yes, and then they just showed who they were. So I like that you didn't go, no, you can't show up, and then your kids are like, why didn't you let them? And you're like, I told them they could, but boom shakalaka, so you weren't the bad cop, right? You were the good cop. Let's take a look here. So what were their feelings and thoughts about this here? All right. All right. Yeah, the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress here, which I feel represents you and this empowerment that they have here. Now, I see some other stuff here. They might have been just caught up with a lot of work, and there's this emotional confusion and this desire to be, I got to be me. And there's a little bit, which you probably are like, this makes total sense, that this well, if you had told me no, I would have showed up. But now that you're saying that I have permission, I don't want to show up. It's an empowered trip, in a way, you know. And whether it's conscious or subconscious, I just feel like they're like, no, I don't want you to be able to control me. And I think that's probably why they're your ex, right? but there was a lot of emotional confusion about, they didn't know if they want to do what they wanted to do. And we had the Eight of Pentacles, which also shows, this is like the work and school and education, that I feel like there's this work, like they used work as an excuse or something along those lines, or will use it. And, oh, I had an emergency, I got called, I really wanted to go. hmm We know where your priorities are, you know. But and then we had this Three of Pentacles, which is them wanting to be true to their authentic self. And the Knight of Swords is about movement of thought and belief and mindset. So I do feel like there was some going back and forth in their head, but there is a lot of this, this energy here. You know, again, there's the Seven of Wands about, I want to be true to me, and I've got to be the one to decide things. And they just it just feels like they were don't want to, you know, be told who they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do. They don't like this, that they have to have permission thing. But hey, you know, like you said, what is it that you make your bed, you got to sleep in it, right? And you're like, well, you're not the one that like saying you're not the one that created this situation, right? You're protecting your children, and I love that about you, the Empress. You know, I'm not just a little maidservant that you can order around. I am the Empress. Do not mess with me. So I feel like there's this power trip and a little bit of not wanting to face you as well. Um, it's a little bit of feelings of like all these Seven of Cups. So many different emotions. I don't want to disappoint my children. I don't want to create an ugly situation. I feel like the girlfriend felt uncomfortable going, and she was pulling a power trip too, and just this whole firestorm of emotions that were going on, and it just ended up just being easier just to say, "Fine, let's just not go." So a lot of stuff happening with all of that. Wow, right? So, and we'll get to your other question here too. Yeah. Well, that's kind of his thing, isn't it? It's all about me. I gotta be me. I'm gonna be me, not how I impact others. But, it's a good opportunity for your daughter to realize that her worth, is something that you can teach her, right? Like, I realized my worth doesn't depend on him, and let me show you that your worth doesn't depend on his actions either, you know? His actions tell you about him, not about you. I like that message for your daughter. And it's a good reminder for you too, right? Yeah, his actions don't mean anything about me. This is all about his actions towards you and your daughter and everyone else is how he feels about himself, right? And so it tells you a lot about that. So something powerful can come from it as well, right? So that's what they have for that one, Lady A. I will be back for your other one here, and I'm just going to take some screenshots real quick here. Thank you guys again for all your patience and all of your love and support. I can't do this without you guys. And thank you for all the thumbs up too. It helps spread the Zen love, and you're part of the love tsunami. So thank you guys so much. And I'm just make sure I grab everything. When I do come back, I will prioritize all the donations I did not get to, and then and I will do the free readings in order of the chat, and then I'll post a comment on the bottom. I mean, on the sorry, I get to do things at once. I'll post a comment on the new stream listing the order in which the readings were completed, so you can find your reading much more easily, and I'll pin it on that one as well. All right. So thank you guys again so much for all the love and the patience. I shall return in about an hour and a half ish, and then we'll complete everything out. So thank you guys. Remember, every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys, hang in there. Much love to you, and we'll see you soon. Oh, yep. Let me grab that really quick here. HTTPS. Grabbed it. All right. So we'll see you guys soon.